Let's speak now to Cope Councillor Colleen Makhubele, who we understand has been suspended, according to the Gauteng Provincial Interim Committee Coordinator. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. They say you are suspended, you defied the party, you did not do what you were supposed to do, meaning that you decided to defy an instruction to vote with the collective. How do you respond?
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers. You know, I'm really getting tired of responding to Ntate Bloom and we don't know what it is, structure that he has created on the side. And if indeed there's interest in the media and in the public around COPE, we've got our provincial structure. Chairperson is Ntate Mufukeng, we've got a secretary there, and the structure is intact. We've got our regional structure, we've got the national structure, the top five. Ntate Bloom and this gentleman, I don't even know him, my first time really to see him, and maybe second time because I saw him on TV swearing at the president, sending people to feast the president. So I can't respond to him, and whatever letters that they are sending are meaningless to me and my work in the council.
Wait, so what you're saying is that you were suspended by a parallel structure that you claim is run by the spokesperson, Ntate Bloom?
Yes.
And so does this then mean that this Oli Sintobela, as you say that you do not know him, is not then the interim committee coordinator in Gauteng, as you say?
What is that? Gauteng has a provincial structure, the CPC. There's a chairperson, Tom Mufukeng, there's a secretary there, and Tate David, and there's a structure that is running there. We don't understand what is this interim structure that they've created illegally, what gives it standing, what is its legitimacy. It's not in our constitution, but it's something that Ntate Bloom has established. We're just waiting to see. My regional structure is not part of that. So that's why I'm saying to you, it's very difficult for me to respond to what he's saying and what Ntate Bloom is saying in the media. What I can tell you is that the acting Secretary General of COPE has sent a letter to, I think the media has it, and also the
yes.
The media statement was released by both the province and also the COPE region and the national, stating categorically that I'm not suspended. They have even written a report to question who is Nkolisi, what is it representing, what is the structure that he's talking about, and where is it featuring in our constitution. We don't have anything like that. The president doesn't know anything about Nkolisi and his structure. So I can't really comment on what he's saying. I'm a councillor, I'm elected by the electorate. No one removes anyone as a councillor except for 3 conditions. If I resign, number 1, if I am deceased, and if I have violated the constitution of the party, and such that there has been a process of a disciplinary hearing, I've been found guilty, and therefore I've been asked to step down. And a letter is sent to the IEC to remove me as a councillor. They don't even understand the law, the constitution, and how it works. So it's people that have created some kangaroo court, have had some meeting somewhere in the backyard, and they want to come and confuse COPE and create this chaos.
So basically, he says that you violated the constitution, which is number 3 that you cited. He says you violated it and there's a disciplinary process that is going to be unfolding. So you are saying categorically that there's no such thing of a disciplinary process that is going to unfold and you still are going to remain.
I did not violate any constitution. If there was, it would be my region sitting here. If it was my Secretary General, regional secretary, or any of my structures in the region coming to media to say that councillor has violated, I would not even respond. I would be in their office now going through the processes, because I don't report to this interim structure. I don't know it. I report to the to the region, and the region has repeatedly, even media statements have been released to say our councillor has acted in accordance with the mandate, with the constitution of the party, of the land, with the conscience and the oath of office. What did I violate? Is DA now a constitution of COPE? Is an instruction from the DA a constitution of COPE? I'm not there by him. I'm elected by the electorate. He's even missing the point.
So you're saying the DA told them to suspend you?
Yes, they told them to suspend me over and over. I've made it repeatedly clear
right.
that the DA has been putting pressure, and it's unfortunate that the Bloom is under immense pressure from the DA to deliver my head on a silver platter.
Who
And
in the DA is issuing these instructions?
No, I'm not going to name names at this stage. I've been asked by my president to refrain from naming names, but letters have been sent to him asking him to have me removed from IEC, he must fire me, etc. And my president has made it clear, please excuse me, slow shedding, has made it clear that he fought his whole life for the constitution of this land. And he's not going to fire me or remove me as a councillor for doing exactly what he fought his life for. He stood to ensure that we have the constitutional democracy. My president does not get a mandate from somebody in the DA in Cape Town telling him what to do within his party. We are not a coalition desperate party such that we want to please the DA at all costs. So that the Bloom, whatever it is that has happened between him and that coalition, whatever they exchanged, and now he's under pressure, is degraded to this level to get this young man, I don't know who he is, writing letters and creating this mockery out of himself and out of the party. It's unfortunate that it's the party's image that is suffering.
We're out of time. We're out of time, but I have to ask you this question before I let you go. And I'm listening to what you're saying there as you're ending off and what you said earlier on. Are you saying that right now, COPE is split apart once again between the faction of Ntate Lekota and Ntate Bloom? Because at some point when we had Mr. Lekota here on the show, he said to us the suspension was dreamt up by those who are sitting under a tree and were simply not doing things by the book. Then we listened to those that have said they've suspended him and they say that they have done everything, they've ticked all the boxes. Then we see the fighting that happened at the press conference. Now we're seeing this and listening to what you're saying. Is COPE split in two currently?
At this stage, I think it's no use denying it. COPE is split in two. And, you know, when I first joined COPE, Ntate Bloom was the first one to tell me, look, people are planted within the COPE to divide it since the inception. And I didn't know who they were, but now my eyes are opened. I understand those that work against the progress of COPE, those that will do anything for their own interest, their own pocket, to ensure that COPE's image is in tatters. And we are not going to allow them. If they want to work for the DA, let them go wear the blue T-shirt. Here, we're wearing the COPE T-shirt, and we're going to defend the constitution of the land, the constitution of COPE, and we're going to do the right thing for the residents, not for Mxolisi. I don't know who Mxolisi is.
All right, let me thank you for your time. It looks like the story has many layers and there's a lot more to talk about on this one. But thank you so much for coming through. We do appreciate it. That was COPE Johannesburg Councillor Colleen Makhubela on her suspension. She says she's not suspended. She doesn't even know there's Mxolisi Ntobela in this particular structure that she says has suspended him. So there is quite a lot going on in COPE here, and it looks like they have split, as she says. So we'll continue to monitor the story and really bring you more on all these installments.